All right, so pal, question of the week. Can you tell me about a micro loss or a failure that turned into a macro win or something positive, you know?
Yeah. Like jiu-jitsu wise? Or...
Yeah, jiu-jitsu wise, competition wise, I mean, whatever.
Okay. I think more so it didn't really have to do, it happened in jiu-jitsu, but you can take it. I think you can take it in business, life, whatever. But I think when I started off in jiu-jitsu, I was so ego-driven of not wanting to lose that it kind of hindered my progression in jiu-jitsu.
What do you mean by that?
What I mean is, like, I was so worried about just getting to a dominant position or trying the submission. I'd lose out on all the steps in between that I should have learned because I drilled them. Because I was so... like, I want to win type thing, and I hated losing, well, which a lot of people do. But it kind of hindered my growth as a practitioner because I needed to, I really needed to, hold on real quick. So, going back to what we were saying about the ego kind of mindset of...
You were saying about that when you were training, you were really, really focused only on the win.
Yeah, I was so focused on the win, I kind of lost out on the knowledge and the wisdom that was given to me by the coaches on how to play positions, how to understand leverage points early on as a white belt.
Yeah.
So I was so ego-driven, I lost out on all of that knowledge. Not all, because I was able to train my mindset of switching it.
But maybe not as quickly as you could have.
I could have, yeah, exactly.
I see.
So if I would have just been like, okay, all of that stuff doesn't matter, okay? Just
Can you give me an example of like what if you were to go back, like what would you have done differently?
What I would have done differently from the beginning is completely have a student mindset versus a winning mindset.
Technical difficulties left and right. So we're talking about if we could go back, what would you do different?
The thing I would do different is have the complete mindset. Don't worry about the wins and losses, or he passed my guard, or this person passed my guard.
You were saying being a student.
Yeah, because we typically have that judgmental mindset, right? Everybody does.
Yeah.
Like, we judge this person from this place. We judge the way they look, the way they dress. It's not in a negative or ill intent type of way. It's just
I think it's like a pecking order thing. It's like, oh, I beat this guy, so I'm better than them.
Yeah, or we think that.
Yeah.
But when you beat somebody, doesn't mean you're technically better than them.
Yeah.
Your knowledge isn't better than them.
Yeah.
That happens all the time in jiu-jitsu. So going back, if I would have done it sooner from the gate, focus on completely what coach is teaching, steps 1 through 7, and try to implement them as I'm sparring or whatever the case may be, as I'm drilling. Focus on that. You know, same thing in business. Focus on the small things. You know, everything has to be in order. Then the outcome is based upon your work ethic, your output, and all of these other variables that play a part in you, quote unquote, winning.
Do you think that sort of winning mindset comes from a fear of failure?
Yeah, of course. It's not.
And I'm saying failure in quotation marks, right? Because I mean, obviously we're in a controlled environment in a gym. We're all protecting each other, but failure at losing.
That was one of my biggest flaws as a person as well, too, and as a competitor. The reason why, for myself, I was so afraid of failure is the shame that's attached to it. I don't... Look at that guy. He just said he was going to do this, and then he did that, and he lost, right? That's the kind of mindset, like, people, you know, start talking smack about you, right? So it's the shame or the embarrassment that comes from the L's that nobody wants to accept. You know, versus having a different mindset, like, okay, I lost, but I was the man in the arena. Yeah. You know, that Theodore Roosevelt, that famous, you know, phrase or quote or whatever he did about, or it was a poem about being the man in the arena. If you have the man in the arena mindset and the fear is just all in your head.
Yeah.
It's all a mental thing.
Yeah,
it's not
yeah,
even
yeah.
real for the most part, right?
Yeah. It's expectations that you put upon yourself.
Upon yourself, right?
Yeah.
And if you eliminate that and just approach it as a student, no matter what it is,
Yeah.
failure or not, I still won because I gained some wisdom and knowledge from it.
Well, I think what I hear you saying is like it's not even a failure at that point. It's like it's the lesson I'm learning to get to the next step.
Right.
You know, it's like a reconstruction of
Right.
that mindset.
And it's not just physical, just the outcome down the line is physical, but everything starts, like you're saying, it's mental more than anything.
Yeah.
So being a student of whatever you do, being a student of your craft,
Yeah.
so to speak. If you be a student of your craft and really hone in on that, forget the W's and L's in the beginning. Focus on that and all that. Let all that stuff play itself out based on your work ethic, your consistency, and all of those other things that have the actual effect on your.
Like that student mindset.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
That's it.
Awesome. You're about to walk out. You have one more thought.
So yeah, it's because you just said something about what did you just say right now?
I was saying like, you know, made up fear versus actual fear.
Right, and you're saying that about money. You were saying something about money.
I was saying like how many times do we allow failure or the fear of, like, people will go, oh, I don't want to do jiu-jitsu because inside they have a fear of looking weird or embarrassing themselves.
Oh, you said too in business too. You're scared of losing something.
Yeah, I said I think that's like a fake fear that I just put in my brain, as opposed to like if I took all my money and I went and I spent it on lottery tickets. Like that's an actual real fear because then I'm actually out all that money.
Right. I heard something the other day too, and when I was doing something, but here's the thing too. When it comes to like the business mindset of what we're talking about too, or even life, it's better to take that chance, take that fear out, take that chance financially. If it's to start a business or like I did, I took
not on lottery tickets.
Not on lottery tickets. But if somebody is like in limbo, like I had this little nugget of something I saved to pursue my passion.
Yeah.
You're kind of scared, right? But it's better to take that chance, you know, and possibly lose money than lose time. Right?
Yeah.
Because if you just sit on that money, oh, it's not the right time. It's just past COVID. We're going into midterm elections, whatever.
Yeah.
You kind of get scared. I don't want to invest my money in myself.
Yeah.
Instead, I'd rather take the chance and invest in myself than waste the time another year or two that I could have been building my business or something.
Yeah.
Or new jobs.
It's so crazy that you say that, because even me, like, I sort of had that fear of like joining jiu-jitsu, and Megan's like, if you would have joined when you first thought about it 5-6 years ago,
you would have been a brown belt by now.
Exactly. You know?
Or a black belt. Yeah, and that's what we're talking about. It's better financially, like taking the risk on money than it is taking the risk on not doing it and wasting time.
Yeah.
Time is the most precious commodity we have, right?
For sure.
So why waste time? I'd rather waste money than time.
Yeah.
Because that's true value.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So that was it.